Nice to be back on a new live session together. Today we have together with us a new guest. So, but I guess in the meantime we can wait like 3 or 5 more minutes for the people to join. So yeah, in the meantime, please just add your country flag where you're joining from. So yeah, we can wait like some minutes to for people to join.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I see some people starting to add uh, their message on the chat. So please add the flags where you're uh, from where you're joining. Great. So I guess we can start the discussion so people can join in the meantime. Um, yeah. So welcome back to a new session. Today I have here with me Benjamin. So Benjamin, please introduce yourself and give us some thoughts about the things you're working on.
Okay, good day, Andre. Thank you, Openfabric, for having me here. Good day, guys. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benjamin. I am the head of business development with Team AI. Team AI is an AI project which is focusing on revolutionizing the AI industry using blockchain. So we are trying to see a process where we can infuse AI, artificial intelligence, and with blockchain. For now, we are built on the Gutenberg blockchain, which is a public blockchain that works with a proof of work. So for now, what we have built is the process where users can generate NFTs using some set of commands where you generate your 3D images and then you convert them to NFTs. But going forward, we'll have some other developmental processes which we'll go through and which we intend to do going forward, which has been highlighted in our steps and in our visions and what we intend to develop going forward. So thank you for having me on this section as we speak about Web3 and how it is reborn via AI.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining our session. So for the rest of the people, if you don't know me, I'm Andre Tara. I'm the CEO of Openfabric. So as you may be aware of, our mission is to democratize access to AI and to, in a nutshell, to make it more easily accessible and more easy to use and understand by everyone. And of course, we doing that by utilizing blockchain and Web3. Great. So I guess the today discussion would be like a more structure about to around how Web3 is actually reborning. It's starting to emerge again, and this time with the help of AI. So the session is structured into sections. So one is having some predefined question, and the second one we have some question from our community. So for everyone who has question, just please add it in the comment section, and of course we will going to answer that in the second part of the session. Okay, so we can start. So the first question, it's about, okay, how do you envision AI is shaping the future Web3? And what would be like some concrete examples in that relationship? So, what's your thought on that, Benjamin?
Okay, very thoughtful question. For quite some time, we've been migrating from Web 2 to Web 3, and most people mistake Web 3 for just cryptocurrency and blockchain. But now we've seen Web 3 going into different other aspects, like the fuse and the boost of AI right now. So it's a good thought that so many Web 3 industries are taking advantage of artificial intelligence to kind of make and simplify work and make it easier. And like just like that Web three is decentralized web. It's characterized by the focus on empowering and then data privacy, interoperability, the ability for governance. So I believe that I envision AI to toe the root of Web3, where we see decentralized AI, we see AI which will protect the data of users, and then we'll see AI which is going to be interoperable, which will have interoperability, the ability to fuse different AI projects into one, just like we'll have in the Web3, where, for example, we have the cross chain, where, for example, I can build a product on different chain, and these different chain can interact. We would want to see where different machine models can interact together, the transformer model, the image model, and the rest of it can be infused to interact together. And then we want to see a process whereby, for example, AI can be decentralized in such a way that I don't need so much to be able to build an AI product. I don't need so much computing power. I can be able to have a platform just like Openfabric has already, where I can bring my computing power and have a platform to build a decentralized AI application, not just having to have all that huge computing power, huge application procedures, huge data sets to be able to build AI products. And we've seen various examples and various applications being developed. For example, now we have the AI marketplace, and then we'll have Web3 industries trying to use AI to make and simplify the usage of Web3. For example, some exchanges now make use of AI to kind of generate um, user experiences, whereby, or even for chatbots, whereby AI is used to generate user experiences to know how users interact with their various products, and also AI is being used to tailor chatbots towards giving responses to users' queries and users' interaction. So AI infusion with Web3 is going to be marvelous and it's going to be great. We've seen AI products now being deployed on blockchain, just like we'll have the AI deployed on the Quitman blockchain. So going forward, I see an innovation in the fusion of Web3 and AI.
Yeah, that's a great answer, and I guess is in a way managed to put together all the core ideas about combining these two very different and very in a way uncompatible technologies, which is the blockchain and AI. So
Yeah.
if you would if you ask somebody like a few years ago about joining together the two technologies, say, okay, this is impossible. The blockchain has some specific requirement, the AI has some specific requirement, and put them together, it's something quite unexpected. So,
Yeah.
in a way, you managed to describe like the all the core fundamentals and the core idea which lies on the vision and and as driving open fabric. So in a way, we want to to combine multiple AI models together and to create more high level application, right? Because right now people are in a way creative like some very specific low level models, but as you mentioned, by putting them together you can create even more powerful emergent
Powerful
solution.
model. And that
Yeah.
scalability, one good thing about Web3 and blockchain is that it's scalable. There's a space, or let's say there's a process where I can improve from 1 to 10. It's not just static, unlike what we have in the previous web fashions. So infusion of AI with blockchain is going to be great in the sense that right now we are even seeing it in the space. Scalability of AI. I don't need to be tied down to doing just one thing. For example, like even with an idea, I can be able to make use of your computing power, make use of your platform to develop high quality products who can be able to interact. My product and your product can interact together to have a high quality product. So that's just what Web3 would help AI do.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great point. We can utilize the Web3 and the philosophy itself of decentralization to put together the joint computational power of network of nodes. Because right now, we in order to run very complex models, you require a lot of computational power,
Computing power,
which
yes.
which of course it requires some very esoteric computers which you don't normally have access to unless you're like Microsoft or Amazon or some very rich guy.
Yes, just like the keyword is empowering small creators, which blockchain has been doing. So, when AI is infused into this, small creators who don't have that financial manpower, that technological manpower can be able to, create their ideas without having to spend so much.
Yeah, that's well pointed. Okay, so getting forward to the next discussion topic. So from your perspective, in what way has AI-driven personalization transformed user experience, within the Web3, ecosystem? So, how did you think that AI is? You just touched bases previously, but I guess it makes sense to elaborate that. In which way AI is transforming, the way of Web3 technology itself.
Okay, I would come from the point of data collection. You know, AI can be used to transform the Web3 industry by when you infuse AI into data collection. For example, if I infuse AI into my product, I should be able to, from artificial intelligence, know what part of my product do users visit frequently. With AI, I can be able to know, okay, what part of my product do users have more bugs from. So collecting this data and these statistics can, enable me to create a more tailored and a more accurate products for my users. So this is a gap where I see that industries can use AI personalization, to drive, for example, in the aspect of content. I should be able to know that, or just, when chat GPT started initially. So this one boils down to training and distribution. That is why I say AI and Web3 fusion is very important because it brings about governance. It means that me and you can contribute. So if we have more people who get to use AI, we would get to have this AI being trained. For example, I might want to generate content from, let's say, an AI content. I might say, okay, AI, tell me about Web3 or tell me about Bitcoin halving. You know, AI, if not properly trained, can go about telling me what I don't need. But if we have infused governance into AI, we'll have more people training these AI systems. So these AI systems are now tailored towards trying to know what you want. These AI systems can go further to kind of either get some statistics from you or some data. For example, if I say tell me about Bitcoin halving, it might go further to wanting to know, okay, what part of Bitcoin halving do you want to know about? Is it about the current year? Is it about the previous year? To kind of drive down into what I want. And then using this information gotten, the next person who now comes to want to know about Bitcoin halving, because AI already has this data, AI already has the statistics from me as a person. It can now tailor down to know that, okay, this is what Web3 users or blockchain users want to know when they talk about Bitcoin. And this is what Web2 users want to know when they talk about Bitcoin. So, it boils down to fusing AI with blockchain, where we now have to train these data ourselves. Constant training will make these things perfect. So this now boils down to personalization, where I can be able to train this AI model to suit what I want, because what I would want from a content might not be what you want. We can give AI the same topic, but your expectation from that topic might be different from mine. So that is what I want to say about AI personalization with Web3.
Okay, that's very very good, very good response on that. So what I would think, and I would add up to that is that, when it's about, creating more personalized products, or, product that are fitted to each individual, I guess, of course, AI is a good tool for that, because AI is a good um technology that can be used to create custom products. And as you mentioned, you can utilize to provide certain information about certain topic, as you say, about, the Bitcoin news or things like that. Also, it can be used to customize in a way, not only how we're trading, not only how we're utilizing crypto models, and how we doing this day to day, but I guess it can be leveraged up to a new level beyond just having this kind of assistance where say, okay, buy me that coin or sell that coin, or do some, like,
Yes.
as you normally chat with your phone, like with your Siri, or with Alexa or other assistant. Of course, we will see more this kind of assistants that are doing all kind of crypto related activity. But at the same time, I guess, we're going to see a lot of tools that are utilizing AI, assisting people, and not only creating personalized product or experience, but also providing new type of assistance. So, like, providing insights about quality of a project, of what is their success rate, or things like that. We're going to see more and more these kind of tools that are providing insights. And I guess this is the core thing that it will um, scale up, and leveraging the Web3, this kind of very personalized and assistant products that will emerge, very useful for all the user in the Web3 space.
Sure, sure.
So going further to the next topic. So what is, on your opinion, how can AI power recommendation system will enhance content, discovery, curation, uh, especially in this decentralization platform. So how do you think this is going to impact the way we create content, the way we consume it, the way we manage to curate it in a way, to ensure that the we have the right quality about it? What is your thoughts on that?
Okay, thank you very much. And this is just like a continuation of what we've discussed earlier about personalized curation. So, just like I said earlier on, that what I might want from a content or from a curation might be different from what you want. So this also boils down to constant training. So AI has the potential to transform content discovery and curation, and this system could aggregate and also analyze user activity data, just like I mentioned earlier, how users interact with different decentralized platforms. We can use AI to collect these data activities. So these data activities, AI would now use it to train itself to be able to give recommendations to know, okay, the user visiting this website, this is what they always want to know, this is what they always want to see, and this is what they always want. So it can use these data to give them recommendations and give them more accurate and more curated content. So these AI-driven recommendations could also expose users to diverse content and services they might not have encountered before. And the collaborative AI approach can align with decentralized ethics and can promote cross-platform cooperation for enhanced user experiences. So it, it's a matter of, just like we say, fusion of Web3 and AI, just like in Web3 where we have interoperability, cross-chain, cross-interaction between different chains, between different products. So in AI, when we start having interaction between different products, for example, if I use Google, I use Yahoo Mail, Yahoo, I use Bing to do searches. And for AI could generate my data activities from these three different products which I use. So if I now want to use another product to also do the same activity I am doing with these other three products, AI would has already been able to gather data to know what I always want. So it can be able to make recommendations and give me tailored content based on this data that have been generated from the previous products. That is why the idea which Open Fabric has started different with each other wonderful because this would us get to this particular question which you've asked.
Yeah, that's very very good answer. So, um, I guess the main thing that I could add on that is, of course, the curation of content is getting more and more important. So I guess while we got these tools like generative AI to create content, images, picture, video, all of that, we're going to see like an explosion of new content, right? A lot of things created by a lot of people. So of course, more content means more things that are competing to our attention, more things that are requiring us to filter between which is what is relevant and what is not. So especially when it's about speaking about Web3 and decentralized platform, people gather free to be creative to create their own content while there's no like a centralized gatekeeper. But at the same time, it's important to think and to create tools that are letting people to curate things, to curate the content that they're getting. Because in a way we want to create a open and decentralized ecosystem where everyone is able to share their creation and to let it be used by the world. But at the same time, it's important that people consuming this information, consuming these products or whatever things are created are in a way able to filter it and of course to get to use the very qualitative things, right? So
And
uh,
that's what I
yeah, please tell
just
me.
like I said about governance, when we infuse AI with Web3, we'll get to see this governance happening where users now are able to determine what they want to see and then what changes they will want to see. And then this issue of the idea of distributed training, where each user can be able to train um, AI into what I want. We might use the same AI tool, but I should be able to train my own AI tool to give me what type of content I would want to desire because what I would want to desire might be different from what you'd want to desire. And then this is what DMI will be building as part of its roadmap in the coming year, where users can train their own AI themselves, distributed training. So at the end of the day, I now have a governance rights to kind of determine what I want my AI tool to give me. But this is not possible if AI does not come together with Web3 or does not build on the idea of Web3 and blockchain.
Yeah, that's a very 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 good point. Of course people want to train their own models, they're willing to consume and utilize these AI applications. So actually, this is one of the key, and the most important problem that we solved in our protocol. So we created a new mechanism that people are allowed to rate certain, quality of different, AI application that utilize them, that they're utilizing it. But you're right. It's very important for to give people, even like it's a governance. Even though I think on the long term, having people to to curate manually things or do governance manually is going to be harder and harder because the volume of the information that it will be produced utilizing generative AI is going to grow exponentially. So my thought is, in the near future, it's going to be harder and harder for people to manually curate these things. So that's why I guess there's a very very interesting research topic about autonomous DAO, like creating like an AI powered decentralized organization where you have in the in important places like you have AI algorithms that are able to curate or provide hints, insight, simplifying the decision process, right? Because when it's about the DAO, there's about taking decision about certain aspect, even it's like curating things or taking decision about the ecosystem. On the long run, this kind of things is going to get more complex, and the quantity of information is going to skyrocket. But I guess you managed to grasp that very particular topic very, very well. Um, yes. So getting on the on the next topic. So as AI become more capable in processing like natural language. So it's getting, as it's getting better and better to understand us in a human language. So uh, what do you think? How might this redefine the way we interact with computers, and how we interact with decentralized network? How we interact with the technology, the Web3 technology itself?
Um, well, coming to that, with just like would I would always mention or would always want to talk about infusion of Web3 and AI. So this is a very important aspect, a very important question because AI, natural language AI possesses natural processing capabilities. So as these language processing capabilities evolved, decentralized networks could also foster more intuitive human-computer interactions. For example, we can have a conversational AI agent who could assist users in navigating various dApps and protocols. For example, I could enter into a dApp or a protocol or a product. There may be different aspects to navigate, and meanwhile I just have one thing I need, so I could make use of AI interaction to get me to where I want to get to in that product, in that application, in that protocol, without wasting more time. So we could use this AI agent to understand contents and answer queries from users, and even facilitate negotiations with decentralized markets. And this advancement could bring about usability gap and attract a broader user base, because I would not find it difficult using products, using dApps, using protocols and application, because sometimes when you go into dApps and protocols, the UI, the UI interface, it's so broad to be able to use. So meanwhile, I have what I want to get to. For example, let me just give a broader example. For example, I go to a dApp wallet, and then what I want to buy is NFT, and maybe I want to buy an NFT not worth more than $10, or let's say what I want to buy is an ape NFT, and maybe we'll have different collections of NFTs. So it means that I will have to keep searching and keep going through one after the other. But then when an AI keeps being infused into Web3 protocols and dApps, I just have to tell AI this is what I want, and it takes me directly to where I want to go to without wasting much of my time. So this brings about easy usability, and then will also grow user bases, because I don't have to waste time. I don't find difficulty using these tabs again. I don't find difficult because once I go into it, AI helps me to get what I want easily.
Yeah, very, 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 very good response. So I guess if it's about to think about how we interact with the computer right now, because we are currently still utilizing the keyboard to type commands, even if like computers or phone or tablets or whatever device we are currently utilizing. So of course we're just inputting text, or we have to click on some buttons, or doing the normal way utilizing an app.
Functions.
Yeah, we're utilizing application. So I think in the near future, basically we're going to interact with all these application as assistants. As you have like Siri on your phone, I would expect to see more and more AI assistants as primary interface of software application.
This
And
takes me to an important aspect. There's an important developmental aspect that we have. For example, the idea of virtual characters. This is a part where people are trying to go into now, where I can have an let's say just like we have the Google Assistant and the Alexa, we say Alexa, put on the music, Alexa, the home AI application. So these virtual characters can end up being like, for example, I want to use my computer, but I don't want to be the one to use it. So I just give the AI instructions. I say, okay, type a 5,000 words article for me on so topic, and I just get it done. So just like you said, interacting with systems, we don't have to, have to use our fingers to manually interact with the keyboard and say, okay, I want this notifications and all of that. So we just have like an assistant who is more like us, and then who can train to think the way we think and the way we. Because I saw on Twitter virtual characters where we have people AI humans going to represent us in a meeting. For example, I'm speaking to you now, but at the end of the day, this doesn't turn out to be me physically. This is just an AI, me, interacting in this meeting and then giving you answers like I should have given you. So, yeah, this is a wonderful developmental aspect that would come later in the future, and which researchers are already working on to bring that to us.
Yes, so that's a very good very good remark. So you're right. In a way, we expect to see more and more this kind of human interaction. In a way, by this advancement, especially in large language model, which are capable, of course, they're not truly reasoning. If you understand the technical under the hood, you know that they are not, we're not there yet to have created programs that are able to reason at the human level, but
Human
in a
level.
way they can mimic and understand and transform like these human commands in something which is like instruction for the machine. So in a way, the large language model and managed to create like a revolution in that aspect. And of course, by combining large language model with text, speech to text and text to speech modules, we are currently already able to create this kind of new type of interaction, new type of, if you want to, user interface, because in a way it's a way of user interface, the way the machine interact with the user. So yeah, but in a way, I guess we're going to see even a revolution in the way we create. The entire experience is not only about having some assistants that are virtually integrating all the application, but it's about providing a new kind of experience, which currently people are doing like a lot of research how we can scale that up and make it widely accessible. So definitely. So people from our community, if you got some question for the second part of our discussion, just add the comments, and the team will collect all of that. And in the second phase of our discussion, we'll try to provide you answers. So if you have questions, please add them to the comments in the social channel. All right. So moving forward, so this is more like an question that it's getting it's continuing the previous one. So with the rise of AI generated content, how can we in a way maintain authenticity and credibility in the information shared in Web3 platform?
Well,
So
this AI generated content sometimes it poses authenticity challenges because there are times I've told AI to generate a content for me, and when I go to the content, I find some contents which are not relevant to what I want. And just like you say, this is a continuation of what we've been talking about. So we could collaborate with AI-powered verification algorithms, where there are people who are going into those researches to kind of build AIs which verifies information. So these algorithms could analyze metadata, style, and contextual consistency of this AI-generated content to verify its source and also its authenticity. So by integrating these mechanisms into decentralized platforms, so we can confidently engage with AI-generated information, promoting trust and credibility, so that the information would be what we generated. But these AIs are kind of built by humans and are trained by humans. So the content they generate, most times you might not fault it, because it works based on instructions. So that is why I said it needs a collective. It's our collective effort and our collective help to kind of train AI models to be able to generate the specific type of content which users would want. So this is just less now. I don't want to waste so much of our time going further, because we've talked about this from question 1 to 4. So if we can solve the issues we talk about in question 1 to 4, then this issue is not so difficult for us to solve.
Yeah, well, I see your point, but I'm not that sure it's that easy to fix. I mean, of course, we can utilize AI to generate all kind of content, if it's about text, music, picture, you know, videos, even game assets like 3D models, and we can create a lot of things utilizing AI. But at its raw component, the AI is as good as the data that were used to train it, right? So the more qualitative data used to train that, the more relevant and powerful the end result gets. Of
That's
course,
why I said it's our collective effort. We give this we give this data as we train this AI model. So it's our collective effort to give the appropriate data and give the appropriate training, so that at the end of the day we'll get a better result and a better authentic content out of these AI models.
yeah, definitely. So it's always about the input data, but in a way, I wonder, I wonder if everybody would utilize AI to generate content, to generate everything. So you know, m- m- my idea is that at a certain point, when it's going to be very hard to find out which is something creative, authentic, you know, that normally came from a human mind, and something which is generated by AI. So it's going to be harder and harder to make a, distinction between those two. So
Um, that's an aspect of debate for another day. It's a kind of debate that's been generating in the industry, but the truth I will tell you is this: if a good content writer and a normal person who doesn't know how to write content. The truth is, if I give the both of them topics and I said, okay, generate content on this, let's assume they both use AI. To be sincere, you'll be able to detect um, which person's content is much better, because the content writer already knows what he or she wants in the content. He already knows the structural components of that content. For example, H1, H2, and how to structure all of that. But the normal person does not know about all these things. So he will just say AI generates based on this content. But the content writer will go further to tell AI what he or she wants, or how he or she wants this content structured. So the truth of the matter is, in as much as it's a difficult aspect, but in the long run, we're going to be able to differentiate from, because if as a graphic designer and you tell AI generate a content for me, it gives you a quack image, you will not be able to use it, because you know that this is not up to the standard of what you can produce. We would want to train and tell all this AI to produce something better than what you should have produced. But someone like me who is the graphic designer, I can be able to go with any content AI gives me.
yeah, I guess you actually pointed a very, very important topic. We feel that the same. So, if you go like, Discord or Telegram, we created like an application, we call it Art Fabric. So people can just type their prompt and they're able to generate like an image. So we actually have to update our, models so that they're able to get user prompt and to enhance that, because normally people don't think about how this kind of generative model works. So most of the time the prompts were very, very short
Yes.
and didn't provide the right context to create something which is looks amazing. So in a way we're utilizing another AI which is taking the user input and it's enhancing that in a way that it is creating a great output. So I guess you're right. It all depends on how people are structuring their input. The more structured, the more interesting input, the more interesting output you get. The more in a way unique. output you get. So, but I guess this is not, by itself is not good enough, because we need to provide and to help people, right? Because not all people are programmers and really understand how these kind of models are
Things
working.
work.
So
The actual point of it is this. For example, it gives you the basic, for just like I gave an example that, okay, to a content writer who is a professional and a normal person who just want to get an information. The content writer wants a professional writing, while the normal writer can just wants a basic. So, whatever input he or she gives, the AI will give he or she the basic input which is needed. But for example, as a professional graphic designer, I would want a professional output. There are certain things I want which in just a random person would not want. But I cannot accept just a random generation from AI. I would want to tailor it down to my professional need. So it's not like AI rules is not going to assist these people. Let's not get it wrong. But then we all have our various perspective or our various interests of what we want AI to give us. So this it is based on this interest that I now go further to kind of give AI the specific details of what I want.
that's pretty good, pretty good capture, and like an essence of this, definitely. Okay, so I guess it's time to, of course, we got many other topics that we can,
Topics
discuss. It's like an endless topic that we can explore a lot.
very
So,
endless.
but of course, we are, time boxed. So I guess we can start, taking some questions from our audience. So again, if you have more questions, just add it to the comment section. Of course, we try to, select a couple of them, because we got a lot of them, and try to provide you like some questions. So the first question is the AI spark that will rejuvenate Web3, and how the ecosystem can be enhanced by Open Fabric. So I guess this is a question, addressed to Open Fabric. So yeah, definitely. So Open Fabric is, in a way, we call it, it's the, the Bitcoin moment of AI. We managed to create a new protocol that is, providing a scalability in, and democratization of AI at the same time. So essentially, we make use of the blockchain mechanics, like all these built-in mechanics, like, letting people to be owner, because, Web3 and blockchain is about ownership. It's about letting people to have ownership of different assets. So of course, we're combining blockchain and AI with the purpose to uh, give people the possibility to have easier access to AI, and to integrate AI, solution in, their product or their businesses. So in a way, we give we give to the people access to the same technology that make, Google, Amazon, and all these big companies what they are today. Because, the AI is not something very new. It's actually quite old. It's just it was being siloed by the big companies. So what Open Fabric does, it gets this, philosophy of Web3 and decentralization, and get this very, potent and powerful technology, and it put it in hands of people, and it let, it brings ownership to the people. So I guess this is a very powerful, very powerful thing, that it can, definitely rejuvenate Web3. The second question, so it's like, it is not possible for AI to generate same art result for different users. So I guess we can answer, both of them. So what is your?
Yeah, it's possible depending on input. Everything boils down to input. If I gave same AI model the same input to give to it, it might possibly generate same, but I have tried this because I was trying to look at the issue of plagiarism. I was like, okay, what if I want to answer a particular question, and that same question is given to somebody else, and we'll have to answer this question? Is Would there be possibility that when we're going to have a plagiarism issue? But so many times I've found out that this AI will give you different content, but the content structure might be the same, but the content output are going to be different because I don't know how. I'm not really a technical person, but I don't know how the back end is being designed or how the dataset is being designed. Maybe they use IPs or something like that to determine that okay, these are two different computer interactions to be able to generate this content. But I've not had the issue of having the same content generation from the same question.
Yeah, so definitely, there can be, that can be created mechanism and structure to be put in place so that we make sure that each individual user content which is generated by AI, it's in a way unique, right? And I guess one of the most powerful technology that is already out there and that can let people to, to actually make sure that their content is unique, is their own, is of course to like, to pack it as NFT, which of course if is something which, I'm creating an NFT like a digital art or it's music or whatever. I can
Yeah.
create that content, and of course I can show people the proof that I'm the creator of
I
that.
am the creator. Yeah, that's basically what we are doing with Dim AI, where we empower creators to create content. For now, what we have is the 3D image creation. So when you create it, you turn these things to NFTs, and you have your NFT ID number. So this eliminates the option of authenticity, like we'll be talking about. I can be able to say, okay, this is my content that I created because I have the NFT ID to back it up. And so going forward, this what we'll be seeing in the creative industry to empower creators to have authenticity and originality to own their masterpiece, so that we don't have issues where people lift your work and then claim it as theirs because it's AI generated.
Yeah, that's that's definitely you know, like a low hanging fruit, and this came naturally from the combination of these two amazing technologies, blockchain and AI. And of course there's multiple way how we can combine this technology, if even is like in our case in Open Fabric, where we utilize blockchain to scale up artificial intelligence to be able to execute, train, and run AI application easily, utilizing the joint computational power, or if it's about utilizing the other way around, like using blockchain
And,
to to ensure like authenticity and ownership of a certain digital asset, because in a way,
and it adds more value for the creator. Just for example, just to store my authenticity, I can also use my authenticity to earn monetary value at the long run.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving to the next question. So um, I guess this is for you, Benjamin. So it said, "Hello, I'm from Kindmer Philippine community. Do you plan to add more unique feature on Dim AI?"
Of course, we plan to do. We'll be releasing our white paper and our pitch deck very soon, and we'll get to see our roadmap. There are so many features on the pipeline. Like when I talked about the virtual character feature, this is something we'll have on the pipeline, and by next month we should be having our marketplace, because currently what we just have is the image generation and then the ability to mint it to NFTs. But coming next month, we'll have a marketplace, because we've had our original idea was just to enable creators, have authenticity and add identity to their creation. But then we've gotten requests from people that they would want to take this further to earn monetary value. So by next month we'll be having a marketplace, and going forward, just like I said, we will have this cross chain capabilities where we'll be able to deploy on different chains also, and then we'll be able to also deploy on different marketplaces. And that's just a snippet of what we'll be doing. And just like we are partnering with Open Fabric, so very soon we seek and we believe that there will be some sort of integration where our users can develop decentralized applications and open fabric ecosystem.
Okay, that's a good answer. So yeah, moving forward to the next question. So of course we got many questions. We selected, depending on how much time we get. So the next question, it says, okay, what do you think is the implication of AI driven and content in terms of ownership, copyrights, and data? So
Okay, well, we've talked a little bit about that. Just like talked about where creators now have the ability to turn their creations into NFTs to be able to maintain originality and maintain authenticity for that. And we've also talked about the process of having AI generate the same content for people, but we've just like I said earlier, we've not seen that process. So, but AI kind of has the possibility or the capability to give people different content. So if you say AI gives you someone's content, it means I don't think it's true. Um, I've not seen that scenario, but I believe that if that scenario comes into place, there will be processes to mitigate this incidents.
yeah, definitely. So what I would add to that is that essentially we are currently utilizing AI, and this is about generative AI because AI is it's much wider than that. That only like generative. There's a lot of very important and powerful use case. But when it's about generative AI and the content that we generate using AI, of course, this arise a lot of very important and challenging topic at the same time, right? Who's the true owner of a certain content generated by AI? Normally, you say, okay, the guy who provide the input and get the output, he's the owner. But at the same time, it depends very much on what data were being used to actually, to create that model, to create the AI model which is generating that content. And of course, this is not something trivial in a way, right? It's definitely not an easy problem. But I guess as we previously mentioned, by utilizing blockchain, we're able to at least to prove and to create a relation between certain creation and user. But at the same time, and this is something we currently exploring also in Open Fabric, it's about, create a sort of, shared ownership regarding, uh, the model generated utilizing, user data. So essentially, if let's say we're creating a new model and we're utilizing the data which is inputted by many people, and each one is bringing his own contribution on that. Of course, we can start thinking about creating like a shared ownership model where essentially all the people who contributed on creating that particular model are able to in a way to uh, you know monetize or take advantage of the end result. So in a way, and this is something very powerful that it wasn't being possible before blockchain. So by utilizing NFTs and create shared ownership regarding certain assets, you are a we can be able to solve this kind of very particular challenging issues. So, but yeah, this is just in the beginning, phase. There's a lot of things that we can explore and we can, innovate especially in this topic.
Sure.
Okay, so getting to the next question. It says, and I guess this is for you, Benjamin. So, how do you think will Deem AI help Kindmer gain more onboarded user to its network?
Well, DIM AI is a layer two of Equipment Network. The Equipment Network is a public blockchain where different products build on the blockchain. So we talked about going into the AI industry, and the next thing we talked about is, okay, since we are a blockchain, why don't we build an AI product on a blockchain? So we believe that DIM AI is going to take advantage of the balls in the AI industry, and because we have an MVP product and we have other products in the pipeline. So these other products are going to bring in users for Team AI, and naturally Team AI being built on the equipment blockchain is an added advantage for the blockchain product itself because it has a working product and some viable products going forward.
Great answer. So yeah, moving forward to the next question. So it says, and I guess this is for both. So it said, what is the ultimate vision and which added value will it generate for the ecosystem and the world? So I guess this is more about, you know, what is the vision, I guess in Open Fabric and also about DMAI and
Yeah.
what is the the value, what is the the end goal and the real value that it's bringing to the people. So
And the, the real value that DIM AI will bring to people at the end of the day is assistance. At times I would say let's not call AI artificial intelligence. Let's call it assistive intelligence. These are products that are going to assist me, not just because I want this AI to do my job, but I want this AI to assist me. At the end of the day, we'll say AI will take our jobs and all of that. No, because even I, as a person, there are things I would need help with naturally as a person. If, for example, I have like about 100 tasks on my table, nothing will stop me from employing an assistant and say, okay, I have a writing job, I have a graphics job to do. Okay, you do the writing, you do the graphics. That's just what I want people to see AI as. So these are the values we want to bring to users to kind of bring an assistive technology to them. And then this technology is built on the blockchain principles, which enhances data security, authenticity, interoperability, and usability. So, all these principles infused into AI is going to give the users a very viable product.
okay, great answer. So in terms, answering the same questions. So um, when it's about thinking about real value and what Open Fabric brings to the world. So I guess the most important topic, it's in the more important aspect is that we creating a new kind of a new type of protocol that essentially let people to make use of any AI application very easily. So instead of, because right now, of course, if you're a technical person, you understand quite well how complex it is to to deploy, run, and train an AI application. It's very tech intensive, and you need some very specific infrastructure that is not very cheap, and at the same time is not very easily accessible. So what is the value of Open Fabric is that we let people without any kind of fancy infrastructure or technical knowledge, they're able to make use of a application very easily. So in a nutshell, we are democratizing and commoditizing access to AI. And of course, this is a very hard problem. It's a very hard problem to solve, but fortunately, we are able to solve it. And right now we have our testnet up and running. We are able to run basically any AI application that somebody can imagine. So we have use case from generative AI, like image generating, music generation, even we even have like 3D model generating. So essentially, the people are typing like a prompt, and based of that, the AI will be able to generate like entire 3D model, which is exportable, and you can use it in Blender or whatever 3D application you're utilizing. But of course, we are building something that it's so powerful, it's so groundbreaking, that it's in a way we associate also with the internet. So internet providing a new kind of backbone that let people to build all the technology we're currently using it. even like our today call is being, facilitated by the internet. So in a way, we are building a new technology which let people to make use of AI in a new way, in a much empowering way. Yeah, so of course we got a lot of questions. Unfortunately, we don't have time to answer all of them. I guess we can close today's session, but before that, maybe we can close it with a single thought. We're doing that in all those sessions. So what would be one essential thing that you think people should be remembered from today's session? Like
People
one.
should remember the benefits that blockchain would add to AI in terms of data protection, authenticity, scalability, and interoperability. So we always have that in mind that blockchain is an important aspect that is going to improve AI.
That's very good. Very good pointed. So from my perspective, I guess what is important for people to remember from today's session is that AI it's something that is restarting the Web3 in a way, and of course we are working this on this from a very long time. So we starting 2019, we work a lot to build our protocol, to build all the tools. But I guess AI in blockchain it's here for a long term. It's something here to stay. So it's not like a hype or something. Rather, it's a technology. It's a technology advancement that will be here with us for a long time. So I guess Web3 is particularly well incentivized and particularly well boosted by integration of AI and Web3. So of course, I guess the main thing that it will be cool for people to remember regarding today's session is about, okay, people, we're just at the beginning. So this is just the beginning of a new revolution. So of course, we're going to see amazing things happen. So expect some amazing things to see every day.
Sure.
Great. So thank you very much for joining our session today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, great. So regarding our community, we just post like an survey. Feel free to provide us feedback. It will be very good for to have your input. We're very keen to get your feedback and your opinion. So just get on the comment section and you will see the link to the survey. So again, thank you very much for this amazing session. Thank you very much for all the people from our community and everyone being here today with us. So have a good day.
And so thank you, Openfabric. Thank you, Demia. Thank you, the listeners. Thank you, Andre. I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.